Well, all right, it is Friday, so it's time for another edition of Finish Strong Friday. We have made it through a week of July, so I hope that everything is going well for you. You got things back on track after the holidays, and things are rolling for you. So we're really excited today to talk to you on Finish Strong Friday about the 9 secrets of peak performance. And I just love this graphic because let me get Finish Strong Friday graphic out there so you can see it. Because it really does show really what we're all about here at A to B for me, and that is just taking the trajectory right through those different levels and getting you to your destiny. So I just love the fact that I found it, and the fact that we may get some sound effects today. We live pretty close to Langley Air Force Base. They're pretty active today, so we may hear some in the background, but that'll just add to our peak performance day. But anyway, let me back out of here. I'm going to make this bigger for you, and we will get rolling with the 9 secrets of peak performance. All right. Well, what are the secrets of success? Well, they're not really top secret. I mean, you may think they are, and some of the mentors and coaches out there act like they're top secret. But I've always been of the mind that really and honestly, I think everything that's been out there and written, the basis of it are in Proverbs and Psalms in the Bible. And we just take those things and we just change the words a little bit. So, but you don't need to be born with unique talents or special gifts. You just don't. I mean, luckily, success is rarely the result of anything you can't acquire in your adulthood. So it doesn't matter where you started. It has no bearing on where you finish. You can develop the daily habits, resiliency, and motivation you need to achieve your goals. And I underline daily habits because, again, in the A to B for me strategy, you look down there at the bottom right, the blue is the thoughts, the red is action. We got to start with that thoughts foundation and get our mind right, get our words right, get our thoughts right. And then we can go and start on our actions, because if our thoughts aren't right, our mind isn't right, we're going to fail at our actions because we're going to get frustrated and we're going to quit. But your actions lead to your habits. You're changing the things you need to change to get those habits in place. And those daily habits are key because that is going to allow you to have resiliency and keep you motivated to achieve your goals. And then, of course, if you haven't been with us before, the green is character, because we're developing your character. And once your character is developed, then you're going to be able to get on to your destiny. And I read something this morning from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He said, "The force of character is cumulative." And that is so true. And that's what we're doing over these steps of thoughts, action. We're accumulating everything we need to develop our character, which are really our core principles. These are all things that can be learned if you're willing to put in the time and the effort. We talked about Wednesday in our WHAM session about 84 days, and that's 12 weeks of just reaching and getting it going, right? Our Deep Dive Destiny program is 60 days of every 3 days, boom, something new. So you got to get in there and want it, right? We can't want it more for you than you want it for yourself, because peak performers have many traits in common. I'm going to go over the top 9 today, but the bottom line is, Daddy always told me there's 3 things you can't do. You can't push a rope. You can try all you want to, but you can't push a rope. You can't put toothpaste back in the tube. And you can't make people successful that don't want to be. So the bottom line is your head's got to be right, or this top secret file means nothing, right? Because if you don't want it, you don't want it, and there's nothing we can do to help you get it. But hopefully you do. Let's go over some of the traits that you'll need to be looking at to be a peak performer. Number 1, no surprise goals. You got to have goals, but the bottom line is you got to review them daily. A lot of people have goals. Maybe they're just wishes. And there's the jet coming over. Maybe you can hear it. Number 1, have goals and review them daily. You have to review them daily. If you're like most people, you don't have a set of concrete goals anyway. Like I said, you just got some dreams or wishes out there, and you don't review them regularly. And again, we utilize the Phoenix Journal at A to B for me because Every day you're reviewing those goals. You're setting them up. You've got them in there. You got your affirmations in there that you do every day and every night. You've got your goals. These things have to be top of mind. And that's what the peak performers do. You just never underestimate the power of knowing what you want and reminding yourself on a daily basis. The subconscious has to get on board. And if you're not flooding the subconscious with these great things that are going to happen, the goals, the visions, all these things, it's not going to be on board. And people, if your subconscious is not on board, you are done. Game over. Just wrap it up because you're not going to make it. But you've got to have goals. You just got to have goals, and you got to review them daily. All right, number 2, surround yourself with the right people. How many times have we talked about this in our different programs? It all starts with who's around you. Peak performers have people who support their goals. They're on their team or they're in their social network because they're going to help you put the pieces of the puzzle together. And a lot of times, the pieces are strung out all over the place. And so you need some people that are willing to help you find them and help you put them together. And if you want to be successful, realize that you just can't do it alone. A lot of folks say, I got this. Well, no, you don't got this. All right. You got to have folks that are going to support you and help you and be there to pull you up when you're down and keep you rolling. So you definitely want to hang out with other successful people. And it's always been said that you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I mean, you want to hang out with people that are further along down the road than you are because they're going to bring you up. If you hang around with folks that aren't positive and don't have the dreams and goals that you do, that they're going to be pulling you down because they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to go forward. They don't have it, and they don't want you to have it. Now, they may not come out in so many words and say that, but that's the bottom line. Aren't you going to come over and have drinks and beer and cheese and all this kind of stuff and watch a football game or with us again tonight or go bowling with us again tonight? There's nothing wrong with watching football and drinking beer and eating nasty food if that's your cheat day and you want to do it. But the bottom line is if they're trying to distract you from doing what you need to do to be successful, and that's not a good thing. So hang out with other successful people and surround yourself with the right people. Number 3, read regularly. We talk about this all the time at A to B for me, and I love Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss, I just hate it when they gave him a bad rap here a while back. But the more that you read, the more things you'll know. And the more things that you learn, the more places you'll go. And it is really true. I mean, you're not going to go anywhere, honestly, if you don't start reading. Because those who are highly successful are constantly upgrading their knowledge and skills. Every day I'm in books, and positive people are in books. I know Mark Cuban claims that he reads 3 hours each day. Well, he may find time to do that, but I know as busy as he is, I don't know how he's finding time to read 3 hours a day, but you don't have to read 3 hours a day anyway. But it's important to make reading a daily habit. And here at A to B for me, the bottom line is if you can just read 10 pages a day, just get in the habit of reading 10 pages a day. Now, when are you going to do that? Well, I can't do it when late at night because I'm gonna fall asleep. So I do it first thing in the morning, get it knocked out. We're a real advocate here of getting things knocked out early in the day. So you've got some early successes and you got some things behind you. But get in the habit of reading 10 pages a day. And that's, what's 10 times 30? Well, that's 300. Well, can you get through most books, 300 pages? Yes. So you could read 12 books a year. You could read a book a month if you just get in there a little bit at a time. Bite-sized pieces. But you got to read regularly. All right. Number 4, work toward your goals even when you don't feel like it. And this is the biggest problem of most folks. They just don't understand that a little progress each day adds up to big results. You can say, well, yeah, I could do that, but I feel like today I can do that and that tomorrow. Well, what's going to happen tomorrow? You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, you could have a big old plumbing leak or something. Someone wreck your car, and you don't get things done. So don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. But if you wait for the perfect conditions, you'll never do a daggone thing. The perfect is not going to come. Get out there and do it, even if you don't feel like it. You can make progress each day, regardless of everything else that may be going on. You can cull out the time, especially if you're not having to cull it. If you just make time for it, again, every day have your big projects scheduled. Put them in your calendar. Get them in your journal. Get them ready, and know that night before what you're going to do, and get those big things done. My new mantra is done by one. I want all my major stuff done by one. At 1 o'clock afternoon is the time when my brain starts going, man, I've had enough of this garbage. I want to go do something else. Like get out and get some air, do something. But I want to get my major projects done by one, and that's just my new thing. But to get started, you got to force yourself to work for just 10 minutes. We talked about that in the Miracle Morning. No matter what it is, if you're starting push-ups in the morning, you want to get to 100 push-ups. Well, you're not going to get to 100 the first day, but just try. Get your clothes on, get down in the floor, and do however many regular ones you can, and get on your knees and do what I call sissy push-ups, where you work on your knees. But get your 10 minutes in. And then just grow from there. So, but don't do nothing. Okay, Janice, the grammar police is going to be all over me on that one. But just you got to do something, and let momentum keep you going. So if you just get down there, if you don't feel like it, there are many days. People say, "What's the toughest part of your day?" Well, the toughest part of my day, quite honestly, is getting there and doing those damn 100 push-ups. I mean, I'm not the lightest guy in the world, and one of my trainers many years ago told me, he says, "Hey, if you lose about 40 pounds, those push-ups will be a whole hell of a lot easier." Well, I know that, but I like being heavier. I just like having the build, but those 100 push-ups, that's really kind of the toughest part of my day, because man, once I get through those, everything's a cakewalk. But sometimes just getting up there and doing it is tough. So I do about 10 minutes of prep before that. Right, I'll do some calisthenics, and do my squats, body squats, and things, and get ready for those. And by that time, I'm like, well, dude, you're already hot and sweaty, so go ahead and do them. But but the bottom line is, I got to work at it even when I don't feel like it. And quite honestly, I don't feel like it about every morning, but I do it anyway, because I know a little progress is going to add up to big results. All right. Well, number 5, here it is. Get up early. I've danced around this in the first 4 here, and it goes really, for us here at A to B, for me, it goes back to the Miracle Morning with Hal Elrod, and that's getting the most you can get done before 8 a.m. because most peak performers are early risers. And I know there's some folks out there saying, yeah, I need to get up at 4 o'clock. You don't have to do that. Well, no, you don't have to. But I'll tell you what, most of the people that are peak performers are usually early risers. They're getting their crap done early and getting it out of the way for a couple of reasons. One, it's quiet, and it's a great time to work, plan, or create. When I get up early, nobody else is up. Nobody can distract me. I know I'm not going to get any phone calls. Back in the day when in real estate, I used to get up and get a lot of my emails out of the way until I realized I was emailing people at 4 and 5 in the morning, and their phones were ringing. And I had one lady, I said, I'm impressed that you're up, but dadgum, don't be emailing me at 5 o'clock in the morning. So think about what you're doing, but it's a great time to read. It's a great time to plan, great time to create, because your brain is fresh and you have no distractions. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But get a head start on the day while everyone else is still sleeping. Again, you can get more done by 8 a.m. than most people do all day if you get up and get it rolling. But get up early. Now, if your job is if you're night shift, then just get up early enough. Do a time shift, but get up early enough so that you can get things done before you go in. But before you got to get up early and get things rolling if you're really going to get in this class. And there are some exceptions, but I'm telling you, there's not very many. Number 6, here it is: minimize distraction. Just talked about it. Let me tell you, distraction inhibits progress. That has been one of my mantras forever, and it just will. You got to minimize these things because at times the most successful people, they just isolate themselves from the rest of the world to get things done. And you have to. Shut that door, put the don't mess with me sign on the door or something, but you've got to isolate yourself to get things done. You might not have investors or fans knocking on your door like a lot of folks do, but speaking of Cuban, but you do have the internet, you have TV, and you have kids, and you got to knock those things out. Now, I'm not telling you go knock your kids out. I'm just saying you gotta let them know what the rules are. And I know it's tough. Maybe some of you folks that during the pandemic you're still working at home, or now you're working at home all the time, and you weren't used to having the kids around at your job, and now you got the kids, but you got to give them some great stuff to do, give them some projects, whatever it is. But for sure, don't be on the internet all day. I mean, if you gotta schedule your time. If you gotta go in and check your emails, get a few minutes to check your emails. Do what we talked about, 90-60. So where you have 90 minutes of work and you got 60 minutes of just checking your emails and checking your internet and maybe checking on the kids, this, that, and the other. Get you a snack, go to the bathroom, whatever it is, and hop back in and grab you another 90 minutes of work. So maybe 90-60-90s are what you need during the day to keep that rolling. So, but to figure out your plan, but keep distractions to a minimum when it's time to work. And again, if you got things you got to do, just tell your subconscious, okay, we're going to do those. It's 9 o'clock. We're going to do those from noon till 1. And maybe need to put an email or put a voicemail out to people saying, look, from 9 to noon, I'm not available. If you want to get with me, I'll return your call between noon and 1. I'll return your email between noon and 1. Just let people know what your rules are for your life. But you got to minimize distractions. Number 7, you got to be consistent. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Peak performers, they don't work sporadically. They're consistent in their efforts. They make success a daily exercise. Again, success is never owned. It's rented, and rent is due every single day. And you have a list of things you're going to accomplish and ensure that you do them, right? That's what journaling is all about. That's what we do in the Phoenix Journal. We have our action plan every day. You line out, what is my perfect day today? What is it going to look like? What's my perfect Friday going to look like? What's my perfect Saturday? What's my perfect Sunday? What's my perfect Monday? And you go through and you set these things up and make success a daily exercise and keep it rolling. But you just got to keep it consistent and just not sporadic, just out of your vocabulary, because it's not going to get you anywhere. It's just like working out. If you work out once a week, well, guess what? You're going to be sore 6 times a week because you're not doing anything consistently. But to get out there and do what you need to do every single day. All right, number 8. You got to take setbacks in stride. We've talked about this, failing forward. You just have to. You can't let things get you down. Life is full of setbacks, but success is determined by how you handle your setbacks. Remember the equation, E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals the outcome. Events are going to happen. Some you can probably prevent, a lot you can't, but events are going to happen and outcomes are going to happen. How the outcomes turn out, positive or negative, are based on your response to those events. So you control the outcome. You may not control the event, but you control the outcome. And those that struggle tend to easily be sidelined by obstacles and setbacks. Your brain is just looking for an excuse. How can I not do this? What possibly could come in and make it so I don't have to do this, right? The subconscious give you all kinds of reasons why you don't need to do something, right? And people around you, some of your friends and relatives, they'll give you real reasons why you don't want to do that. But higher achievers aren't bothered by these challenges. Peak performers have resiliency and they maintain a balanced perspective on these things. And the more challenges you can handle with poise, the more success you'll enjoy. And poise is the main ingredient in everything. In leadership, it's huge. It's how you handle the unexpected. And that's what poise is all about. If you're going to go off in a tantrum and a rant and get all upset and just throw your day and everybody else around you's day off because something happened that you didn't expect, then you need to sit down with yourself. You need to get some meditation. You need to do something and settle yourself down, because they're going to come around again. And life is full of setbacks, but it's how you handle those things that's going to make the difference. So E plus R equals O. Remember, 100% responsibility. You have to take 100% responsibility, and you have to take these setbacks in stride, because they are going to happen. And number 9, finally, here we are. Make things happen. You talk about the vision board before, now we're talking about the action board. Some people dream of success and others make it happen. Don't have hopes and dreams. Have goals and make these things happen for yourself. Because successful people don't sit around and wait for the world to pick them. They're not sitting here waiting for somebody to pick them. They pick themselves, and they make the most of their abilities. I'm not going to wait for you to pick me to be on your team. I got a team. I'm the team. You can be on my team if you want to, right? They pick themselves, and they make the most of their abilities. So you have to be assertive if you want to be a peak performer. You have to have the confidence. We talked about that in our series, developing the confidence to go after your dreams. You got to develop that confidence. And how you do that? Well, you got to visualize your dreams, study confidence, prepare for self-confidence, discover motivation. You got to expect success, and you got to get inspired. And we talked about that entire series. But the bottom line is you got to make things happen. GSD, get stuff done. If you don't get stuff done, ain't nothing going to happen. That's what that big old red bar is there on the A to B for me strategy. Action. And that's why these words are in red. Action. If you don't have an action board, ain't nothing going to happen. You're never going to get the habits you need. If you don't get the habits right, you're not going to be able to mold and get your character developed, and you're not going to reach your destiny. It's just not going to happen. So that red bar is huge in the A to B for me strategy. So number 9, make things happen. All right. Well, here's the bottom line. Success is within reach. It always is. Anyone can become a high performer with a positive attitude and habits that support your goals. There's that word again, habits. Now, there are a few lucky people that naturally acquire an effective attitude and habits. I mean, very few and far between people just come out and, oh, well, yeah, I got them, right? No, you got to cultivate them. And that's the rest of us. We had to cultivate these things. We all didn't live in a world where everything was just, given to us. And I tell you what, the folks that live in that, a lot of them, they lose as soon as they get that key, right? Because they didn't do what it took to earn it and keep it. But pick a few things, pick a few of these secrets and begin implementing them in your life. Now, hopefully you pick all 9, but go through and start working on them. And if you do so, success is going to come your way. There's no doubt about it. There's only, like I said, only a few secrets in life that maybe some guys have, and maybe stock secrets or stock tips or how they're doing certain things. But when it comes to global success, you can make it in whatever area you're at. So as you just gotta, again, get the habits and get your attitude right, and support those goals, and make it happen for you. And if you need a little help, reach out to us here at A to B for me. We're always here for you. So that's it for 9 secrets of peak performance. If you do need to reach out, and if you want to schedule a one-on-one strategy session, I'm going to always have this up here now for you, a2bforme.info/15 with Don. If you want to be in that jet that's making that positive trajectory and headed up the A to B for me strategy, reach out to us, a2bforme.info/15 with Don. And what you'll get is a confirmation back with 4 questions. We want you to review those questions and be prepared for those questions before our interview. So be sure that you set it out there far enough where you got time to do that. But we're happy to sit down with you and review those things and get you rolling. All right, well, let me hop back in here and say hello to you. This happened to me last week when I did that, but there I am. And let me pop this back on. Yeah, you got to get all of me again. I don't know what I did last week to make that happen, but I did it again. But anyway, all right, well, that's it for today. We will talk to you on Monday. We're going to have a weekly challenge for you on Monday. And get you rolling. And of course, we're going to have another Wham on Wednesday. We're going to start a new series For the rest of July. We're going to pick some interesting topics for you this week. Not necessarily the same that peak performance type stuff we've talked about before. We're going to look at some different areas, finance and health and fitness and things, to give you some different perspectives on your on success. But hopefully you have a great weekend. Take some of these principles, look them over this week. Maybe go back and catch the last series. There's some things you didn't get there, but we're here to help you. Just reach out to us because we want to help you keep moving in the direction of your dreams. Well, you have a good one, and we'll talk to you later.